This is the Matt Keats Memorial Course, and he passed away in 2017. And if he would have known that the largest purse in disc golf history were being given out at a course that he put his blood, sweat, and tears into, I think he'd be pretty happy. It's pretty amazing how this event has emerged as one of the most important events throughout the players' year.
We have the stat card going into the finals. Ricky is a scrambler. He's that person with that clutch personality.
I think that they're all favorites. It's hard to really pick one right now. I mean, you can make a case for any one of these guys to step up, but sure, why not Ricky Wysocki? I mean, he's a player who plays with as much passion as anyone.
Hits the big putts at the right moment.
This situation, this format really requires players to play against not only the course, but against the other players on the card, and I think Ricky might be the best at doing that. Gannon Buhr's season has been remarkable.
He reminds me a lot of Will Schustrick back in the day when he first won.
We started to see him really come into his own last year at this very event in Hornets Nest Park. He's won $72,000 thanks to his $25K win at the USDGC.
We might be seeing the next absolute Hall of Fame superstar.
It's going to be one of the most amazing rounds to watch, and I think if Paul's able to shoot another 7 or 8 under, he's going to be a pretty tough player to beat in the final championship.
He says he needs to get into a good rhythm, and I 100% agree. If Paul McBeth starts hitting those 40 to 35 footer at ease, takes the pressure off of his driving, that guy's going to be hard to beat, and he always is. And then you have Isaac Robinson, who'll always playing with a smile. Kind of every bad shot gets left on the wayside, and he keeps pushing and pushing. That's somebody you can be scared of, especially when the pressure's not get to him, because you can't really tell, because he's having so much fun.
Quick putts, always accurate from long range, and seemingly a carefree attitude that allows him to play without the stress. He really just can stand on the tee, do his form, release the disc, and it doesn't seem like he's really affected by what the other players are doing.
It took a full season to get to this spot.
At one point, if you won $1,000 for winning a tournament, it was a big deal.
So they've done an amazing job.
$35,000 is just a significant number. I mean, we're getting closer and closer to 50K, and before you know it, we might even be paying out $100,000 for first place at one of these events.
As time goes on, this is going to become the most important tournament, and let's just see how it plays out.
Hello everyone and welcome. This is it, the final round of the 2022 season. We are here at the championship, the Disc Golf Pro Tour Championship, presented by Barbasol in Charlotte, North Carolina. Jeremy Koling, Paul Ulibarri, BigBarri commentary, and this is it, man.
I can't believe it.
It's crazy.
It's been a short season, I feel like. But before we get started, 10% off site-wide, still going on, free shipping, and
all the states over $50 order. And this ends tomorrow night, Pacific time.
12 o'clock.
So that's like 10 o'clock for all you people in Hawaii. So get on your browsers and start clicking, because our 10-year anniversary stamps, they're dwindling down. And once they're gone forever.
That was this year's
our 10-year anniversary.
So awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
All the merch and everything. Get out there, support.
Folks, Isaac Robinson, my goodness, this player has had one heck of a breakout season. Tour ranking 15th, and that's only because he played about half the season. Big time winner at the Idlewild this season. Paul McBeth winning his 6th world title this year. World ranking number 3, tour ranking number 2. Widely considered the GOAT, and he's still in his prime. Another man in his prime, my goodness, Ricky Wysocki. Tour ranking number 1, world ranking number 1. He just scrambles, and if we're at a scramble course anywhere in the world, it's definitely here at Nevin Park. He is definitely suited with the goods to be able to get out of trouble. And Gannon Buhr, the man coming off the huge USDGC win last week, he is 17 years old, and he is just unaffected by bad shots. I mean, he has like this incredible way to throw a shot that he's not happy with, that anyone else in the world would have been pleased with. He's not ever satisfied, and he keeps him hungry, and then he just makes putts from everywhere.
Yes, he makes putts from everywhere. The thing that is so incredible about that guy, he's ranked 4th in the planet.
17
on the planet. 17.
And Isaac's 21.
Old man.
Season, and we have now arrived at our MPO Division's lead card final round. At this time, please help me welcome Ricky Wysocki, Paul McBeth, Gannon Buhr, and Isaac Robinson.
I mean, this has a perfect storyline. It really does. It has the two rivals, the up-and-comer who's trying to take them down, and then kind of the fairy tale storyline in Isaac.
He's the happy-go-lucky. I mean, you can't root against him. He's just...
With the honors on hole one, please help me welcome, representing
This is gonna be a
Dynamic
fun round,
Discs,
folks.
Mr. Ricky Wysocki.
Over under 10 outside the circle box made by this guy.
I mean, you got to go the over.
That'd be fun.
You got to think going into this round, low wind, all the pressure, world record prize money. Oh, Ricky, early turn. That kicks forward, but I think he's going to be safe.
That's fortunate.
Yes, it
the
is.
last round, he actually missed the gap, and he had to go to the drop zone.
Representing Discraft, Mr. Paul McBeth.
If Ricky wins, he'd be the first player to win the Pro Tour Championship the same year that they won Worlds, since Ricky Wysocki did that very thing in 2017.
One person to hit a gap like this. Who you picking?
Well, can I say Paul now?
To save the world.
Paul, maybe Brad Williams.
Representing Prodigy
Maybe
Discs,
me
please give a
forehand.
warm welcome to Mr. Gannon, Buhr.
I'd hit the first tree and the whole world would just be exploding.
I could get up and down from the drop zone.
Gannon Buhr pulls this one so wide, but it's actually flexing back. Gets a decent kick to the middle, but that was a bit of a misrelease.
Yeah.
Fortunate to not hit the early trees in this gap.
Representing Prodigy Disc, please put your hands together for Mr. Isaac Robinson.
Talk about a gap hit.
This guy is one of those people that would go on that list, I think.
Well, he not only hits gaps, he puts it on the angle right away.
Right away.
It doesn't flip onto the angle. Watch if he hits this gap, how crispy the angle is to.
Oh, that's high in a little tree direction that just perfectly puts it back on line. That gap is only 35 feet off the tee, but it is 6 feet wide. It seems easy to hit when you watch these guys throw it on camera, but if you stand on that tee in person, it's a little intimidating.
That's this course. I feel like the widest gap is probably 15 feet.
You don't get too many wide ones, that's for sure. If it is wide, it's going to be a low ceiling.
Even this putt. Oh my gosh. I was going to say a little too far.
96 feet uphill for Gannon right there. McBeth from just outside the circle. And there's one. You just got to imagine that with the conditions as perfect as they are, you just can't imagine that if these guys are bringing it, these putters aren't going to hit the ground.
And they're the 4 best putters.
I would say these are the 4 best putters. I mean,
Yeah.
Isaac, he's just fascinated us all season with his ability to just nonchalantly chuck them from 70 feet, and every one is seemingly on line.
I know there's talk about how good Ricky is at putting, Paul, but Gannon Buhr is the best putter in the world.
I don't think anyone's going to argue that.
I don't think it's close right now. Hole 2, par 3, 410 feet. We've seen this all week, and out of bounds on the left-hand side. You want to throw a left to right shot. I believe we're going to see 3 forehands and a backhand.
Yep.
Isaac being the backhand. Super tough shot for the backhand because you've got to throw it so wide, have a super understable biz, and height is a big thing.
Yeah, you can't just go understable and just throw it around the corner because you can cut roll out of bounds. So getting the angle right is so crucial. Paul, this is pushing long and gets a fortunate kick down to the right. If that misses those trees, it could easily go out of bounds across that ditch on the other side of the fairway.
Yeah, I don't think it had any chance of coming back, so that was a very good kick.
And Isaac, look at this inside turnover. Is it 2 inside? No. Oh, it's not even close to 2 turned over. It is absolutely perfect.
It was. I feel like it was pretty close to being two turned over, and
It
then
was
the
pushing,
bounce.
yeah.
Actually, because it was so turned over, watch this bounce. It gets into almost that flight. See, and he
It
parks
just
it.
keeps turning towards the basket even after the ground play starts. That's fascinating. To me, my brain just can't even process how he can do that so accurately. Ricky going inside forehand. He's got so much power that he doesn't have to angle it. He can just go straight and just absolutely drills the bullseye. Those are two top-class shots. Couple different ways to get there. Pretty special. Gannon going the wide forehand route, just getting around that backside tree, and that's going to get a nice skip, and that is 20 feet away. 3 really great shots, and Paul is now out at 127 feet looking for a highlight.
Oh my gosh, look at it from 120 feet. How he gives it a nice bid, but look at where his disc lands afterwards.
It had a chance to go in.
Yeah, 12 feet behind it.
It's a great touch. Gannon is in. Gannon right now has an opportunity to make well over $100,000 this season if he wins this event.
That's unbelievable.
And regardless of how he places today, even if he takes 4th place, he will be the fastest player ever to eclipse $100,000 career earnings. The previous owner of that record was Kyle Klein, and he did it earlier this season. But no matter what happens, Gannon will be the youngest player ever and the quickest player ever to have $100,000 career earning.
Wow.
3 birdies on hole 2, and we are on to hole 3. Par 3, 425 feet, and you have to go dead straight about 360 to 375 feet of this fairway. And then at the very end, it breaks hard right. It's just like a really tall, narrow uppercase letter L.
Yeah, good way to explain it.
That's upside down and reversed.
The understable disc.
This
Too
is
early.
too tight, and it actually fights through a ton to get right there. My goodness, that could have been in a ton of trouble.
Yeah, that is very fortunate. That gives them just inside circle 2.
Maybe, yeah. It's an outside look. This is perfect. Unless it misses, unless it hits that one. No, absolutely. That's the best shot we've seen
Ever.
by 30 feet on our coverage this week, if not 40 feet. We haven't seen anything inside the circle, and let alone bullseye.
I mean, really hard to get better than this. He's 3 feet away.
This has been the second hardest hole of the week so far. 3.21 average, and this is a cumulative of the entire tournament, including the play-in, round 1, quarterfinal, semifinal, so on.
Does Gannon not have the sidearm power to throw it there, or is he just more?
I think he
comfortable?
does. No, I'm a little surprised to see him do that play. I think that maybe that's just secure the par because it is such a difficult birdie. But I am surprised to not see him go forehand. And Paul also pulls this one. Both tree hits, maybe roughly around 150 off the tee. Gannon's forehand is more built for the hyzer swoop. It's not so much the hyzer flip straight, and so I think that might be part of his disc selection.
Or like
Shot
a straight
selection.
anhyzer is what I see him throw a lot, like with the overstable disc.
And Paul is in some trouble here, and he's going to lose most likely minimum 2 strokes to Ricky now. Gannon looking to get up and down, and
Pretty good. That's right on the circle's edge.
he's going to be closer to 55, I believe.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not much Paul can do. Just gives that a little float. It was maybe going to flash near the chains if it doesn't hit any of the high ceiling, but he will be left with a short putt for the bogey.
It's This would be huge to take advantage of.
A really big break to get through everything in there. You just cannot miss early right side, and Isaac did that, but got through everything. For par. And now for bogey. So Gannon will erase the birdie on 2 with a bogey on 3, and he will be at even par. He will be tied with McBeth, and they'll both be 2 shots back of our leaders, Isaac and Ricky, both at 2 under par. What a drive for Rick. My goodness.
Everybody threw at least 3 times before he putted.
Everyone tapped out. He was the first to throw, or he was the second to throw, and last to
So it was
putt.
11 shots before
That's
he
amazing.
tapped out.
That's always a good feeling. On to hole 4, par 3, 462 feet, downhill nearly 40 to 50 feet, telephone or power pole right down the middle, up in the middle of the fairway and down at the bottom. And both of them can be a real nuisance if you hit either one. The one at the bottom can be even harder to manage your par because a lot of times you'll kick down into that out of bounds creek. Ricky to go Fallon, and he's going to try to turn this over. What a shot.
It always looks like it's so close to hitting the other side, but every good shot is only about a foot or 2 over the OB line.
He used every inch of that fairway, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. Also going with the turnover.
One of the things I love about Isaac as I watch him more and more this season is the height that he puts on his discs. He really trusts his discs at right height, and a lot of people stall out. He powers through even with a higher release point than most of the other players.
Wow. Super flex. Talk about using the whole fairway.
Kind of an Anheuser bounce kick off the ground, but a beautiful shot for Gannon. He's just outside the circle. Those are 3 phenomenal drives. And this is pulled pretty hard for Paul. What kind of reaction is he going to get down here? Not too much, just kind of falls straight down. Now he's got a tricky shot because those wires at the bottom of the hill are now on the way for him to go the straight shot. So he actually has to play the big wide Anheuser. Didn't really have any other options than that.
Well done, though. Nice scramble.
Gannon to bounce back. Just perfect. It would have been interesting to see Gannon putt with his style. He can't pick up his drive. He'll leave that one there for now, or as many. But it would have been interesting to see him putt. Oh, this is chalk bag. Back in the Mach 3 days with that power that he putts with.
I'm guessing he would have had to change.
Yeah, I don't think the pace that he comes in with, I think about half the tour would have to change their style. But
I mean, really, all these guys are coming in with a lot of heat.
yeah. 3 birdies on hole 4. I can't imagine any other card all week saw that kind of scoring success on this difficult hole. That is pretty remarkable. Didn't average below par for the week, 2.91, but tough birdie to get.
Hey everyone, I want to talk to you real quick about the Disc Member monthly disc golf box. Disc Member is the essential subscription package for every disc golfer. Get new releases before they're available to the public, limited run stamps, and exclusive plastics delivered to your door monthly. Every package comes with $40 or more of discs and merch for only $29.99 per month. Plus, every subscription comes with Disc Store Insider, a $100 value for free, and a free UDISC subscription. So go to discmember.com or click the link in the description to sign up. There are limited spots available, so become a Disc Member today.
As we fly over hole 5, this is a par 4, 580 feet. The play is to get to this corner and then turn right and go downhill. Really important to not leave yourself short and having to scramble through the right side, because that is a very tough part of the hole to get through. Your approach has to miss this log and have the right height in order to get over that log and somehow slow down in time to not go out of bounds long. want to talk a little bit about Ricky Wysocki as he throws his tee shot. This is going inside and gets through, but comes up short of the landing zone. If Ricky were to win this week, Paul, he'd be the first player to be #1 in tour rankings and win the tournament since he did that in 2017.
Wow.
No person has done that in 5 years. So in some ways, he's the underdog and the one that everyone thinks will win at the same time. Actually, you can't call Ricky an underdog.
Yeah, I don't know where underdog came from.
Well, just the odds are against him in history, historical
I got
sense. A little bit too tight for Gannon. Just got to put a slight bit more Anheuser on that, and he would be in a fantastic spot. Now he will be scrambling.
Man, that is so smart.
That is about as good as we've seen all week. And now Gannon is choosing to go through that tight inside.
Oh, what did that even hit? Oh, it really took that.
Very nearly a perfect shot, but the very narrowest of limbs connecting with that approach.
Ricky catches the tree, then the log.
That log sitting at about 52 feet away from the pin.
Just a brilliant design, putting that log right there.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's a great. It's so tough to navigate. A bit of a stolen design aspect from the USDGC. McBeth, 284 to the pin.
And the log gets him.
Now Gannon has to still scramble. He's still not out of the woods yet. And the log.
Okay. Couple 52-footers coming right up. Ricky bounced backwards, actually.
Yeah, that's about 70.
Scares it. Again, look at the touch. On a hillside, 12 feet by. Had a chance.
Doesn't look like Isaac has much, but if he does make this, oh my gosh, he would have taken the one-stroke lead and would have been 4 under through the first 5. Just an incredible start, regardless if he makes that or not. McBeth cannot save the birdie after the perfect drive. That's going to feel like a missed stroke, or a lost stroke, I should say. And there actually is a lost stroke for Gannon as he's gone birdie, bogey in the last 4 holes. Paul, if Isaac Robinson were to win this event with a $35,000 for first place, he would win more than $10,000 more than his entire career earnings before the season had started. He had won $24,000 and some before the season started, and he has an opportunity to win $35,000 today.
Yeah, he's on a good pace right now. Let's see if he can get this par 3 straight up the hill, 333. I mean, this is a stock shot for all these guys. Maybe Anheuser out of the hand, or you can play the hyzer flip, but usually that ends up to the left in the trees.
This has been playing as the easiest hole all week. One that each player is thinking, let's get a birdie right now, please. Ricky's definitely thinking that.
He will do so.
2.41 average is low on any course's standards, but for Nevin, that's going to be far and away the easiest hole.
Well, this is playing all of 400 uphill gap to hit. This is
It's pretty crazy, too. I mean, but we're talking about the top 32 players on tour. If we're talking normal sample size of 90-plus players, 4 rounds, I think that number would get closer to 2.7. This has the feel of a 2.7, doesn't it?
But it is one I can attest when I step on this tee, it's one where I'm like, okay, I have to get
Yeah,
this
you need to get this one. The ceiling's not quite low enough for it to feel as difficult as this uphill shot makes it feel.
These guys are just showing you why it's playing easy.
McBeth a bit lower with the Onyx, more of a straight shot. Nothing to it. Absolutely nothing to it.
Size, pretty much. All right, Gannon.
Going FX4.
There's that heavy hyzer. Yeah. Comfortable angle to throw up the hill. But what ends up happening is you do end up in those trees. But
still up all the way up to the top of the hill, and he's putting.
When he's putting, it's usually a good sign.
And just walks it right in. And how many outside the circle have we seen now?
I think that's 3. Was Gannon outside the circle on 2 holes?
Yeah. Yeah, just barely.
Star frame. Who would have thunk? In rounds past, it's been points accumulated. This is just straight up score.
Yep.
And then different payouts all the way down to the last spot.
Ranging from $9,000 for 4th place all the way up to $20,000 for 2nd place.
Wow, that's
which
so
2 years ago, that was a record-breaking payout for 1st when Haley King and Kevin Jones won.
3 times as much as I've won in a tournament. That's crazy.
That is amazing for these guys. Just to be considered in the same sentence with you, as far as...
Oh. Oh, I'm just saying that's ridiculous. That's my biggest payout.
Ricky, early trouble here on 7. A scramble from the top of the hill is very challenging. Let's see if Isaac can take advantage. He's going with a putter. Take note of the height. Look how high he throws this.
I don't like the height.
What I like about it is that I think he overthrew that a bit, but it gives it a chance to settle. Like a McBeth likes to go more line drive driven. And this hole doesn't like line drive driven shots unless you really are perfect at keeping it short. Like this is just, it doesn't have a chance to slow down.
No. But wouldn't you rather be putting up the hill than
yes,
down,
I would.
down the hill?
Totally. Every time. See if Gannon can get it right. A little overturn, and that's going to kick left.
All right, some scramble shots coming right up.
This is so tough to do.
Juiced. Needs to
Yeah.
hit those.
All the way down past the basket by 60. Ricky's going to be left with the decision. Yes, of course he can run that because it's uphill, but if he hits that box or cage, it could be coming right back to his feet if he isn't accurate or careful.
Yeah, you'd much rather be putting up there for 2.
Yes. And Gannon barely hangs on. That was coming in with some speed as well. But a short putt left for the par now for Gannon. And Ricky is off the cage, and it stays up top. So scary when you're putting up that hill and hit that box.
First time I've seen 2 hit the box and not roll back.
Yep.
Everybody else so far really has.
What?
This guy's crazy.
Isaac? Oh my gosh. That was so close. That could have done any number of things.
Shows a lot about his confidence, though.
Yes.
He just rips right at it.
I
That
mean-
looked like it had more pace than other putts that he had.
And regardless of, he makes that, he gets a 2-shot lead. He already was guaranteed 1 stroke if he just laid up, but he wanted more. And like you said, you got to love that sign of confidence to run that, because that is a scary putt to run.
Behind every face is a story, unique, each and every one. Beautiful stories, inspiring stories, some beyond our wildest dreams. And every day, a new story begins. We salute every fearless, self-assured, undeterred, hopeful face all across America. Here's to the next 100 years. Barbasol.
Paul, you were out there helping me laser. We got about 163 feet to this first tree. If you want to go the inside gap, you got to avoid that one. This big tree right here is 265 feet, and I consider that the prime landing zone. There is an opportunity to get across that creek and really shorten your approach, but you're risking quite a bit, because if you're off the fairway, the scramble is not easy here on hole 8. Isaac does choose to go the inside route and makes it into the ditch. It's not quite in the ditch. It's short of the ditch. Okay. It looks like it was in the ditch, but not quite.
I think he threw it to exactly the perfect spot, because as McBeth gets a horrible kick straight to the right.
Such a bad kick.
I believe Isaac is 3 inches away from being in the ditch.
What a start he is off to. My goodness. Gannon Buhr.
Gannon says
1 inch away from what he was yesterday.
Yep. Same shot.
Same tree, same shot. But in the semifinals, with throwing that same shot and finding that same spot, he's 450 feet away, and he got up and down for the birdie. Is he able to repeat that magic here? It's just so smooth. The amount of speed that's behind that shot, it doesn't look like much because he's so casual with his throw. But most people, to try to get 450, have to really power up, and that makes that gap so small. Not for Gannon.
He's 10 foot tall, I think.
Just creates so much power.
He did get a lot of fortunate air in that tree line over there, and it kicked him back to the fairway.
Paul with a beautiful shot back to the fairway. That is not easy to do, but he does it.
Scramble king.
400 feet away for Rick, and he goes standstill forehand and gets the entire distance.
Looking like a breakfast chef.
Just scrambling eggs. And you're right. That is perfect position for Isaac. Oh, catching last pines on the left side. Very close to another dialed in approach for Isaac.
That's good stuff.
That's some good golf there from Paul. Fighting his way back to the fairway and then just parking it. That approach from 240 for Paul. This putt from 90 feet for Gannon.
12 feet behind it.
Isaac for deep, taking about 3 times the normal length for his setup, but gives it a decent run. Now Ricky an opportunity to tie Isaac at 4 under. And that's our 4th outside the circle.
And from where he was to go deep, that's about pin high. Or was it
Yeah,
deep?
no, he was. Yeah, I mean, I would have argued pin high. I think that was right. But I think just to get there from a standstill forehand
Sidearm
at
Anheuser.
400 feet, I mean, I think if you do like that Anheuser angle for the forehand, he was in a good spot. But still, to do it is another thing.
Yeah, stand still.
Yeah, like just he's He's got a big forehand.
Got a nice putt. He's got a bunch of nice titles to go with it.
Yeah, #1 in the world is a good title. Being the absolute best, is that good?
No, I don't know.
I tried that for a while and it just couldn't get there.
Hole 9, par 4. 630 feet of pure nastiness. This is one of the tougher holes on the course. Really demanding tee shot. You really have to throw it perfect to have any shot to get down here with any touch. Deeper down the fairway, you can have scramble shots that come in, but you're not going to really have that control coming into this green.
300 feet to the top of the hill, and it's up about 10 to 15 feet from the tee. So it's about 320, 330 the way it plays.
To get to the sweet spot, which is through this gap here, and then push
Oh my gosh.
to that
Oh my
area.
gosh.
That right there is a
That
400
is
foot
so
shot.
good.
Yeah. So it's a lot of power, and something has to hold on a perfect angle the whole way.
You know, I mentioned this on hole 2. I really thought this was a forehand friendly course. And then I see the way that they're shaping their backhands. It makes the fairway even bigger. The way that it's turning over into these lines or gentle anhyzers. It just impresses me every time I see a player like Isaac just shaping early. And Gannon all the way to the top of the hill, and look how bad of a reaction he gets. That goes deep left, and there's nothing from back there at all.
Look at Ricky just playing the pitch up for the par. Smart. I would think that would be a place where he would try like a backhand roller or something, knowing how aggressive he is, but...
Yeah, I had to go stand on that lie and take a look for myself to see, like, you know, what is stupid Jeremy doing in this moment? And stupid Jeremy's going flick roller towards the pin and hitting the early tree. But Rick knows his game, puts it to the top of the hill, and stays in the game for the par. Paul, once again, just ever so slightly off. A couple holes in a row now. He's just barely missed the
A little
mark.
bad luck, too. I mean, you could get between those two trees and get another, get circle's edge. I mean, look at this one beating all the
Wow,
trees.
missing everything, Isaac. An opportunity to get to 5 under on the front.
I would argue that those two trees are kind of in the fairway that Paul hit.
Yeah, oh, totally. There's a group of 3 at the top of the hill, or towards the top of the hill, and then there's the next group of 2. And those are all, I would consider all 5 of those trees in fairway.
Yeah, basically fairway bunkers, is what I like to think of them. Look at this.
Gannon. Oh, how does that not go in? He doesn't know either. Yeah, wait, that's what? So close.
Paul hasn't been dialed in from outside the circle yet. Can this be the turning point?
And he said get there, and it got there. I think he wanted it to get down there.
Yeah. Get in there. And this one went quite a ways by.
Yeah.
But easy peasy.
What a cash birdie. Isaac, second best score we've seen on the front 9 this week. Next to Gannon, 6 under in the semifinal. Didn't have to really drop that much in footage as far as putts. I mean, he's just throwing the disc down the fairway and giving himself chance after chance. Really doing and getting away with some things too. That approach was kind of leaky through the woods there. You know, if you're off by an inch, you hit a tree. If you're off by a foot, sometimes you get by them all. But either way, he is now leading. He's got 1 shot over Ricky, and they're kind of starting to pull away a little bit from McBeth and Gannon, who are stuck at 1 under right now.
I mean, we said it yesterday of the quality of player who could catch somebody. And that is all of this card.
Yep.
No lead is safe. Now, before we were talking about points and all of this different stuff, there's no lead safe with these players on this card. The one thing I want to note is Isaac Robinson shot a bogey-free round earlier this week. He's bogey-free right now. If he can keep that going, I don't see how anybody can catch him. Bogey-free's insane out here, and he throws it too good not to get birdies.
It's coming down, folks. We've got a 9-hole countdown to the final holes of the season, and that's it. And then 2022 is over, and we will have a Disc Golf Pro Tour champion. And I'm sad, and I'm not going to cry on camera, but I'm going to cry as soon as the camera stops recording.
It's all right, buddy.
Well, we'll see you guys in just a minute for more disc golf.